When you talk about the street side, because like a lot of people have a hard time balancing the music career and being in the streets. And I'm a firm believer, like it's impossible to really be full-fledged into the streets. You either transitioning from the streets to the music, but can you do both successfully?
I believe you can do both.
Okay.
It depends on your perspective and your perception. Like, we not talking about just some petty, nah, I'm still on the block, I'm selling dope. Like, nah, niggas past that. You know what I'm saying? We past that. I believe it's more so infiltrating the streets now.
Okay.
And stepping into the homies' world and bringing them out. Or being a vessel to bring them out if it's in the most high alignment for me to do that. Like, that's why I'm doing music. Because, like, I come from that side. So, for me to come from that side and not acknowledge it and give this my all to get them to this side, you know what I'm saying? I follow the example of the Messiah, my nigga. Like, the Messiah was around the thieves, the killers, the prostitutes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't have to preach to the conscious side. To a certain extent, y'all know what's up. So my focus is more so here, but I'm still in the middle trying to get both to see each other's side at the end of the day. So I believe it's on what type of man you are. If that street shit still glorify you and all of that, you can't do both. Because you're going to end up being like a lot of artists that ain't got killed before their time.
So when we say in the streets, I for hearing you talk it out, it's multiple definitions or perception of what in the streets mean. It's not always a negative connotation of in the streets meaning selling drugs. Nah. In the streets can mean being revolution or being an advocate for your community. So it all depends on the term of how people use it when they say in the streets.
Yeah, heck yeah. And then it depends on, you know what I'm saying? Like you just said, breaking it down on what's your definition of in the streets. My definition is going to be totally different from another John Doe or from one of the homies on the block that's still in the mix. If he in the street, that means he really in the field. For me, in the streets is being in the field, but it's from a perspective of being a servant to my people.
Got you.
That's the most gangster shit to me. I don't care about pulling up in drive-bys and, bro, we didn't already live that life or been privy to it.
No, for sure. So, like, you know what? And bringing up your spiritual side, I think it's dope because how you said Tupac, he was complex, and you are very complex. Like, you can't going down my rabbit hole on your music and just hearing it and just seeing from the visuals or what you're saying audibly, but sometimes I'm seeing you with the fringes on, and then I hear you talk about the Messiah. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you're very complex. So, but if you could define, you know, who Courtney Bell is, how would you define yourself to the people?
Water.
Okay.
Water is free form, and whatever you pour water in, it takes its form too. And that's also being another example of the Messiah. Like, when I'm in Rome, I'm a Roman.
Got you.
When I'm with the barbarians, I'm a barbarian at the end of the day, but I have my foundation. I'm a spiritualist at the end of the day. So the only thing I hold firm to is law.
Got you.
And the Most High, and knowing we are who we are as a people. But everything outside of that, man, it's a rabbit hole. It's ancient mystery, stories, and all of that. Like, that's the type of stuff I be into. I don't hold anything firm at all but the Most High.
Got you.
Straight like that.
Okay. No, that's dope. That's dope. Like, so right now, being that, you know what I'm saying, you in tune with the Most High, are we living in the last days? Do you think this is the time?
It's been the time. And see, I feel like this is where people get confused at. Like, if we just going off based off of the Bible, the moment the Messiah was hung on that tree, the end of days began then.
Okay.
Prophecy has started, prophecy been fulfilled.
Right.
But the end of days started then. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that the Creator is a teacher of signs. Everything that he's taught us has been by signs. So if you want us in tune in what's been said and you go back off history is only going to repeat itself.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So I can say, yeah, we are in the end of days, but we've been there. It's just getting more closer and realer.
So do you think, because you know a lot of people who don't, I guess, believe in the Bible, don't believe that somebody going to crack the sky open and come save all the black people from the, I guess the what they call it, like the oppression from the white man. Like, are we, some people feel like that's a waste of time waiting for something outside of us to fix us, that, or like Minister Farrakhan said, God is in us.
Yeah, most
There's
definitely.
our job is to fix it, not looking necessarily always for something outside of us. How do you feel with that, Doctor?
Man, I'll be equating everything to the Messiah just because of how dope, when you really start to get the ancient mysteries and what he was really trying to get us to understand he was on the same shit.
Gotcha.
Like, even when you think about, it's a parable in the Bible about a woman that had an infection in her blood or whatever, right? So she thinking in her head, like, if only I can get to his garment and touch him, I'll be healed. So when she finally got through and broke through the crowd and touched him and he stopped, like, who touched me or whatever? He told her in so many words, like, you were already healed before you came to me. So it's like at the end of the day, what the Messiah was really teaching was the power of faith and belief more than anything. Like, I'm not waiting for no sky to crack for me to do what I need to do now.
That's real.
Because if the sky crack, or if this is said to be true and this is going to happen, I'm going to be shit out of luck because I spent my time down here doing what I wanted to do opposed to what I was sent here to do.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure. So like, and I like where you're going, how your mindset is. So as a people, we living in like in a tough time. You know, of course, election is here. Everything seems amplified. And we'll get back to the music, but just because I got such an intellectual mind in front of me and a spirit-full mind, like, what do you feel like we should do as Black people in the country right now to move forward ourselves? You see Diddy started a Black party where he's trying to get a bunch of Black people come together and create our demands. You see Ice Cube called some slack for the Black contract and trying to meeting with Trump to try to get those things hashed out on behalf of the Black community. What Courtney Bell feel like we need to do?
I feel like first and foremost, bro, you can't bring a bunch of niggas together with money and just feel like money is gonna be the source to do anything with us to push us forward or try to get enough people. You have a whole bunch of minds that are in different forms of spirituality, different forms of life. Everybody don't believe in the same thing, so that right there is crashing the foundation. You feel me? So I feel like for us, what comes first is healing.
Okay.
Awareness of who we are, because we all have divided pieces of what's what. Everybody believe we're ancient Kemetic or we Hindu or we Buddhist and all of that. Like, nobody is really taking the time to really, like, let's heal each other. Let's hug each other. Let's really come together on that standpoint. And everything that come with the money and anything we want to do, we know we control the culture. We control everything here. So it's like, for me personally, what I would focus on is helping our people heal first. Because then that removes ego, that removes pride, that removes everything that's in the first three lower chakras of how we operate in regards to survival and all of that, being from where we come from. We got to get all that shit out the way first.
So you see two type of Black people in the country right now. You have those who are maybe three. You have some that's aligned with democratic values who feel like, okay, Black people, we have been victimized and we are owed all this stuff. And then you have some Black people who are Republicans and say, hey, I'm not a victim. I've overcame financial disparity. We need to, as they say, pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, quit making excuses, quit trying to act as victims, empower yourself, and make things happen with what we have. And then you got some people in the middle who don't know which way to sway. Like, how do you talk to those who feel like we're not victims, that is the healing is done? Like, we shouldn't be sulking over here and feeling like victims.
I mean, you dealing with people that was once a Democratic and got some money and their views changed and their circle changed at the end of the day. So it's like, when it comes to speaking to those type of people, in all actuality, to a certain extent, it'd be kind of like wasting your time, depending on who you're talking to. Because I feel like us as a people, we all have something that we want to be a part of.
Fact.
It's naturally in our spiritual essence to want to believe and be attached to something. You know what I'm saying? Even the atheist believes that he believes in nothing. So you still have a belief at the end of the day.